Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Pips. Yeah, the stream was down for a second. I had to switch over to a different setting, so we should be good now. Yeah. What's going on, Money Machine Gun?
Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live, baby. What's going on, people? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. I got my man from Thailand. I hope you keep that mask going over there with that coronavirus going on, bro. I heard there was some more cases. Well, one in Washington. I heard there may have been another one here in the United States as well. Man, oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a false flag or what, man. It's just kind of suspicious. You guys let me know what you think about that. Give me a call if you guys want to call in and chat trading. I'm going to be taking a look at primarily FX tonight. Take a look at my crypto algos as well. We're short in crypto. So I bet you basically can use this as a kind of a free, get a couple trades in type of stream. You know, I'm going to be showing you my algos live. And we can talk whatever you guys want to talk. If you guys want guidance on something, or you want to get feedback from me on something, let me know. Call me up 669-900-6833, and the code is 169-861-119. Speaking of false flag, bro, I didn't know that the what was it, Bill Gates owns the patent to the coronavirus. I believe it's Bill Gates. It's one of those Bilderberg, Illuminati. One of those individuals. Someone on my Twitter hit me up and told me that, and I looked at the patent. Sure enough, he was correct. It's crazy. So you never know, man. You never know. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'm going to get started here in a second. Give me a call in. Put that number up there again for you guys. So I'm trading. Currently my algos are kind of synced in for euro yen, pound dollar, pound yen. I got the euro pound and the pound Aussie. So those 5 pairs I've got honed in on with the algos. On the 5-minute chart, that's what my algos are trading, 5-minute candles. John Hill said he thinks the virus is going to crash the stock market. I did a video the other day about that, and it very well could be the catalyst, that black swan event, right? Remember, black swans come out of nowhere. No one's prepared for them. And so a black swan event to kind of, you know, shake up everything would be something like, you know, a virus, right? An epidemic or something. Crypto Don saying you can't see anything. Let me know in the chat room if you guys can't see the stream. You should be able to see the stream. You can call in too, Don. You definitely can call in if you would like. If you want to call in, the number is 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. I'm trying to figure out the best time to do these live streams for FX. Because to be honest with you, right now, there's really nothing going on. We'll take a look at, matter of fact, we can do that now. Let's take a look at Forex Factory. That is what I use to at least know what's going on in the markets. You don't want to get caught off guard with FX and the news. News is very critical and fundamental in this game. Fundamental news plays a big role in the overall trajectory of any currency pair that may be affected by that. So if we bring up the article here, article screen, you'll see here we have nothing for the rest of this day. Tomorrow we've got French flash sales PMI. It's at 3:15 Eastern Standard for me. German flash manufacturing PMI at 3:30. So those are going to be pretty big. They normally are. What's even bigger though, as you guys can see here, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. When you have ECB president speaking, you never know what they may say that will trigger these people, the algos, hedge funds, the banks, whatever, to go crazy. So that normally when the presidents of like the ECB or IMF or you know, Bank of International Settlement, any even FOMC, right? When Powell was out there talking, you never know what's going to trigger the markets. Those are times where you really want to have your either be out of the market, or if you're really deep into some money, you're deep in the green with profit, take some money off the table and close your stop losses up, tighten them up, because you never know what they may say. When it comes to, you know, like economic news, we know it's pretty much or very close to a binary event, right? They either, or it's actually three things. You can either miss your target, you can be on target, or you can overshoot. But when someone is talking, boy, I'm telling you, that is something different. That's a different animal. I normally stay out of the way. We got Treasury Stephen Mnuchin also talking at 4:30 a.m. So this is going to be a very high volatile time period tonight, people, going into Thursday. Definitely. So let's take a look at these charts really quickly. Let me see if I can bring this chart up. Pick up where we left off. Shout out to Cryptonomics. What's going on, bro? All right, as you guys can see on the screen there. So from last night, I can't even remember where we left off, to be honest with you. I think we went short on, was it pound Aussie? Yeah, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cryptonomics is when you're gonna have a lot of fundamental news on the deck, coming from all currency pairs. I mean, we go back and look at this, man. 4:30 a.m. You got euro, we got pound, and we got the dollar. Treasury Steve Mnuchin will be talking. He must be at Davos, because at 4:30, that's not. Yep, he's at Davos. So global economic outlook at the 2020 World Economic Forum in Davos. So he'll be speaking at that. So depending on what he says, you know, who knows? Seeing that it's at Davos, it may not be. He may keep it safe and not say too much. Doesn't matter what he says though; it's all lies for the most part. You just believe the opposite of whatever they tell you, people. I'm telling you. So again, this chart here. Let me see here. I may have fixed the resolution issue too, so I'm gonna take a look at some code in a second, and you guys let me know if you can see it. But as far as the Australian or British pound versus the Australian dollar or Aussie, I'm still short, but I'm down right now. I'm down because I went short around here at 1.9128, and we went sideways for a while. I mean, we bounced off this level so many times on the 5-minute chart. That's a strong area of support, it looks to be. So we'll see. My algo is ready to actually go long. If you see, you can really faintly see my trigger point to switch positions to go the opposite trade. It's right at my stop loss. So if we hit my stop loss and we close above that area, we will be going long on the pound Aussie. So currently I'm down maybe about 30 pips right now. Down about 30 pips. P&L on pound Aussie. Malik Howard, what's going on, bro? Yeah, we're gonna take a John Hill. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as well, because I'm actually short on that. We're gonna take a look at my algos on Bitcoin as well here in a second. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I'm down currently on the pound Aussie, but boy, am I up on the euro yen. So if you guys recall yesterday on my live stream, I was still short from 2 days ago. So the market started to slowly head lower. Euro got stronger versus the yen, and I was actually up when this happened, just out of nowhere, just right before, I think it was like, what time was it? It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Some news was supposed to come out. Matter of fact, I'll show you right now. Let me look at this Forex Factory really quickly. It was yesterday. It was right before 7:45. It was like 7:50. No, 7:40, 7:35, something like that. Markets shot up, then went down. Normally that's a pump fake. A lot of banks will do that. They like have the news prior to. It's a lot of insider trading in this FX game, people. If you didn't know, now you know. But markets moved up. Either a cover, you know, someone was covering their short, got scared, or someone was just trying to, you know, basically wipe out any shorts that may have had their stop losses up here. So stop honey possibly went on there. We were still short though from way up here. Way up here. Now this move did close my position. I did close my position short. Didn't go long though, because I have a delay on this algo now. As I told you guys yesterday, I added a shift of how many bars did I shift on this one? I am shifting on my longs 30 bars, 35-minute bars. So I didn't go long, but I did go short because we went back short as far as the sentiment, right? And I went short, and then my long position finally kicked in here. That was delayed. So that was great. Good timing on that. Went long here. As you can see, went long there at that arrow. And I'm riding this bad boy out. And at this point, we're up 18 pips. But at the height, I was up 34 pips. So let's see what happens with this. Let's see what happens with that. So next trade, I have pound dollar. I'm short pound dollar right now, slightly above break even. So I'm kind of in the water right now, a few pips with this short trade on the pound, about 16 pips. But my safety net is this trailing line here that I have basically is my pivot point for me to go long, right? So this is essentially only a few more pips away. And so if we cross and close above here, we're gonna go long at some point in this trade to mitigate the risk on that one. But a couple of sequences before, this was a good trade. A long trade on pound there for a couple of days. All right, the Tech Geek, what's going on, bro? I'm good, man. I'm good. I am good, my friend. So yeah, that's it on that. Let's take a look at the next pair. We've got pound yen, slightly down on the pound yen as well at the current time. Again, it's probably going to trade sideways until the morning, to be honest with you. I think somebody actually hit me in my comments last night on my video from yesterday, and he said he was going short on the pound yen, and I told him I was getting ready to go long, and so I did end up going long, but had to reverse that trade to go short. So I'm short now. I don't try to predict the markets. That's trying to predict the markets, and that's why this algo is a price action based algo. So I'm not trying to get in front of the market, predict which way it's going to go. I'm letting the market flow, and I'm just following along. That's the easiest and most surefire way for you to make good money in this game. I tell this to all my people in the crypto sphere as well. Don't try to get ahead of the game, ahead of the market. You're a little fish. Follow the whale. Be a minnow and follow the whale. That's what you should do. Don't try to get ahead of the markets. Let the big boys move the markets first, and then you patiently wait and get in with them. That's how you should do it. Now again, my algos are swing trading, meaning I'm holding them for a couple of days. I'm not scalping. I'm not doing any scalping. That stuff burns you out. Kudos to those who can do it, though. I can't do it. I cannot do it. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat room, or you can give me a call. Let's talk. We can talk trading. 669-968-33. and the code is 169861119. It may have actually been Money Machine Gun who said he was going short on his pound yen trade from last night. Let me know if that was you. Let me know if that was you. So we're gonna let me go ahead and pull up the next pair. All right, and so the next pair is euro pound. So with the euro pound slightly up at this point, I went short at 84. What's that? 84.20. What is that? I'm sorry, 84.45. And we're currently short with that one. It's been kind of slow, to be honest with you. Price action the last day or so has been kind of sideways for many of my pairs that I trade. So we're just waiting to see. I like when my line comes down to kind of, you can almost think of it as like a trailing stop. It's not though. I base it on some standard deviations that happen, prior bars, but it's good to see that line come down so that it kind of protects me. At least I don't lose as much or don't lose anything. So currently, let's just say out of nowhere, if the market shot up right now, like 11 pips, I would be fine. Like I wouldn't lose much money on that trade. Yeah, scalping, man. I remember back maybe about 8 years ago, I created a scalping system on the 1 minute chart. And when I tell you, I doubled my account in like 2 days because I just sat there for hours on hours, like 8-9 hours straight scalping. But again, this was 8 years ago, so the volatility in the markets were much higher in FX. So I don't know if that same strategy will work. But boy, after the third day, couldn't do it, man. I ended up just draining everything. Like I got so mentally fatigued that I couldn't do it. Like my personality, I'm one of those people, like if I get on something, I go on. I'm nonstop with it. I go in and I won't stop. So if I have a trading system, a scalping system that's making money like crazy, I'm gonna do that all day. That's all I'm gonna obsess over, and that's what I'll do all day. And ended up burning myself out, man. Couldn't do it. So over the years, I had to figure out something, and that's what you guys should do. Develop a trading system or strategy that fits your personality. Don't go against the grain, because this trading stuff is a mental game. Even for the crazy thing is, even for your automated systems that you may follow, because you'll find yourself second guessing the algo, right? You'll end up taking profit or not going short when you should be, and not going long when you should be, or whatnot. So you need to find a system that is that lines up with your personality. If you're one of those types of people that you got ADD and you can't sit there, don't do the scalping. Scalping is not going to work for you. Scalping is not going to work for you. Christopher Ladd, what's going on, brother? He said, been trying to get into Forex props. Yeah, man. Definitely want to have your foot in the game. I would say options, even though I don't trade options anymore. Options are good. I used to trade binary options, not your American options, but you should look into trading American options, like on equities and stuff. That's good money in there. Actually, what's my man's? I'll have to give you guys a person you should look at for an options trading options program. But yeah, if you can, if you learn how to trade, bro, you can trade any market. That's the beautiful thing about it. Once you get a system that works for you, and once you become disciplined as a trader, you can trade any market. Any market. Oh man, John Hill said Texas student might have the virus, the corona. Might have the beer virus, people. Coronavirus is in Texas now, it looks like. So we got one case in Washington, Seattle area. Now we got one in Texas, as it looked like. Oh my God. Tech Geek says swing trading and holding are the best for me. You have to enjoy life. So true, bro. So true. Yeah, like as a beginner, I remember this. When you first start trading, all you're doing is looking at the candles and the charts, and that defeats the purpose. You know, that totally defeats the purpose. You want to extract as much emotion out of your trading as possible. And that's why, you know, after years and years, I'm like, well, I already programmed. I'm like, well, I might as well take, you know, my strategy and turn it into code and have it just replicate itself over and over again. No emotions, you know, and that's what I do now. So I get an alert to go long, to go short, whatever the case may be, put my stop losses in and let it, and I'll check it out in 4 or 5 hours. You know? Cryptonomics says the coronavirus is some BS. I don't know, man. It could be, but you never know. It's like, you know, when we come up with those conspiracy theories, it's like trying to prove a false positive. Like, you can't prove a false positive. So, you know, for us to say it's a conspiracy theory, there's no way for us to prove that it is. And there's no way to prove that it's not. So it's just like, I mean, we can say that. I have some feelings about that as well. I can, you know, agree with you a little bit there. But, dude, it's just a coincidence to me that we got this going on right around impeachment. We got, you know, the election's coming up. So, let me get this other question in here. Someone else said something about Ace1 said, CB, what do you think about Nadex? So the reason I stopped, and let me pull up Nadex real quick for us. The reason I kind of stopped Nadex is because I couldn't personally find a strategy that consistently over time worked for me with the binary options. And I felt like, so with binary options, let me just explain the binary option thing. They, you know, they make it seem like it's the best thing smoking. Like you get the best of both worlds, right? You get the leverage of Forex, spot market, without being the danger of being stopped out of your position. So in the spot market, meaning if you're trading the pair directly, you normally have to, and you should have a risk tolerance level. You should have a stop loss in your position. Every position. It should be like clockwork. It should be like second nature. When you open a position, you immediately open a stop loss to protect your position. That is the worst thing. It's happened to me in the past, for sure. It happens to all of us learning FX. You put a trade in, and you're like, yeah, you know, I'll check it later, you know, or I'm so confident. I'm confident this trade is going in my direction. I don't need no stop loss. I already know what's going on. And then you either forget about it, or some news comes out of nowhere and goes against your position. Now, you know, you got a margin call and you wipe your account out. So with binary options, it gives you that leverage, but it also protects you from any whipsaw, whiplashing. You don't have any, there's no stop loss. It's a fixed contract. So you basically say, depending where you get in on that binary scale, on that option ladder, depending on where you get in. If you want to risk only $10 to make $90 per contract, you can do that, and all you'll risk is $10 per contract. So you can see how that can really be lucrative. But the issue is, this is the problem. There's a thing called time decay in options, in binary options. That is the tricky part, because as your binary option gets closer to expiration, it changes the behavior of that binary option. So that's when things become really tricky. And so over time, man, I couldn't, you could never, and that's the thing, like, you already can't time the market, right? It's already hard to beat the markets. So when you add the element of having to time the markets and it do what you needed to do before a specific time, I just couldn't consistently do it. I couldn't consistently make money with it, bro. So I had to just leave that alone. Let me see here. John Hill says audio. What about the audio, John Hill? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Money Machine. That's my thing too. They hyping this up heavy, bro. And I said that in my video the other day, my 2 cents video. I was like, there are billions of people on this planet, and only like 14 people died. Not a problem. More people die from freaking car crashes than that. Yeah, Cryptonomics. Time decay if there was no time decay, yeah, of course. You would that would be the best move to do binary options. But the house needs to win, and so what happens, how these instruments are even created, people, is that you have very, very smart mathematicians or even physicists that get into this financial system, this financial industry, and they're quants. They're like really like highly intelligent, really advanced mathematical and physics type degree cats. They got doctorates in this stuff, and they create these models, and the Black-Scholes model is a mathematical equation that was what options are based off of, right? And so with binary options, they tweak that and add it to it, the time decay and all that, and it's very complicated stuff. But at the end of the day, it's really hard. I haven't found a strategy yet. I'm sure there is one out there, but I haven't found one with the binary options to consistently win. Because and this is the other thing, some people use like a straddle they'll straddle or hedge their binary options. So they'll play the long side and short and try to meet in the middle somewhere or whatnot. That's okay, but even with that, what I found is that many times, if you buy a binary option at like near 50 or around up or down 50, right? You're better off just buying a spot, because you've capped your, you don't have the risk of getting tapped out, but you've capped your profit potential. There have been many cases in the past where I'll go long, I'll do a call on a binary, and I may have bought it at maybe like a $30, $40 premium, right? And the market shoot up 150 pips. I tap out at 100 on the binary option. It goes to 100. That's the furthest it goes, and that's the upper bound price on that particular option. I may be confusing some people, but the people who trade options, binary options, know what I'm talking about. Cryptonomics says Gann is good for timing markets. Okay, I've heard of Gann. Definitely heard of Gann. Let me see what Cryptonomics says here. CB, do you think the Bitcoin will reach 10K this year after halving? It's fast approaching. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Let's take a look at my Bitcoin algo really quickly. Give you guys a peek into that. Let me see here. Let me pull that up for us really quickly. I'm gonna switch over. Wait one sec. Before we switch over to the Bitcoin, let me just make sure I went through all my pairs. So, oh yeah. So yeah, I went through all of them because I started with the pound Aussie. So I'm still in this short pound with the pound Aussie. It's kind of just trending, man. It's not doing much. You got big support at 1.9059. But I am still short on that position. So I think in the morning, around 3 o'clock or so, or at least when the Eurozone opens, we'll start to get some movement. And I can start profiting off of these trades or reversing my trades at the least. But yeah, so let's take a look at this crypto side of things. So I'm going to expand it. The top chart is Bitcoin. The bottom chart is Ethereum. My Ethereum algo. And as you guys can see, we're short. We went short actually yesterday. Went short around when I was streaming, actually. Went short on Bitcoin. And if I pull out here and just start assessing where we are in the markets, the last support area would have been right there, and we broke it. So we broke that support area on the 1 hour chart. That was the last support area we had, which was at 84.45. So we did break it, not by much, but let's just see what happens now if we continue downward. And wow, and to be honest with you, we broke it right here. We broke it right here, right? We attempted to come back up and we were rejected right there. That's a very bearish sign. I'm not going to lie to you. That is a very bearish sign there. Granted, this is on the 1 minute, but yeah, that's not looking good. Not looking good, people. Try to get rid of this. 1 second. Yeah, so I think we may head lower at this point if we broke that area. The next area of support, I guess you can say it's maybe right here. Literally where we are. Literally where we are right now is the next area of support. But I don't count that as a big one. The price action there wasn't all that great to show me that's a strong area of support. But to say the least, that is an area. So if, I would maybe mark that one as a mild area of support. But the next true area of support in my book would be just going back enough time to just make sure. Next area of support would be right here. And right there. So if I go back, I'm just going to head back to the where we are right now. Zoom in. So yeah, those are the areas that we have right now. So we're trying to see some price action off this mild support area, but I personally think we'll break that. I do. Wasn't a lot of price action at that area where I marked it. The price action didn't look all that strong. So I think personally we might head as low as another 4.5-5% to $7,872, that range. So yes, time decay does happen in plain vanilla options as well. But with binary options, there are more restrictions. It's more variables that you need to. It's like the window of opportunity is even smaller, in my opinion, because of the other variables. So yeah, that's that. We're short Bitcoin. We are short Ethereum as well. And with Ethereum, jeez, I mean, honestly, the next area of support would be all the way down here. At 148 for Ethereum. So, yeah, this is my Ethereum algo. As you guys can see, this is on the 1 hour. So with the 1 hour, just to give you guys an example, the 1 hour, you're going to have more 1 hour bar. I have 5,000 1 hour bars now. So my history for back testing it gives me more confidence on how this will trade. And I've been live with this particular algo for the public, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 months. About 5 months live with this particular algo on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And let me go back here. The first trade as far as back testing though goes all the way back to August 4th of 2018. So this gives me a wide range of data to analyze here. And the longer you trade, let me just say this as well. I didn't mention this yesterday. I did not mention this yesterday, but if you guys, I recommend you don't do discretionary trading nowadays. It doesn't make sense. It's almost like I compare it to, back in the day, like I'm a car guy. Like I've had many different cars. I love cars. I used to really love cars that were manual, right? That was the whole thing. Like if you didn't have a manual transmission, you weren't a car enthusiast. But nowadays, them PDKs on the Porsches and those Z transmissions, those 8-speed, and even on like the AMGs, they're 10-speed. They're better, man. They're just you can't ignore it, right? They're just better. The automatic transmissions are better nowadays, and some of them aren't even dual clutch. So it's kind of like that. Like it's just better to find you a system, an automated system where you can monitor and maintain and trade with it. There is no holy grail though. You won't find a system that it's just every trade is right and it's going to make you money regardless and never lose. Those don't exist. Don't even get your mind frame in that type of space. All right, that just doesn't do anything for you. That doesn't do anything for you. But what I was going to say was, the longer a system trades, the lower your profitability your profit factor will drop. It's just statistically, it has to happen that way. So that's why you see, you may look at a algo that has a high trading profitability. It probably hasn't been trading for that long, or the number of trades that it takes are very small. So over a year, like a year time span, it only takes 50 or 60 trades. Well, yeah, your profitability factor is going to be much higher in that case, because you're not really trading that much. But the longer that, even at that type of algo where it only trades 55 times, 60 times a year, even with that type of algo, the longer it goes, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's going to come back. That profit factor has to come back. It has to come back. So that's something you guys should keep in mind when looking at that type of stuff. When I talk about trading with you guys, it's strictly talking about automated systems, because that's the way to go nowadays. Discretionary trading is, I mean, you can do it. It's good to know it, because what happens is you're able to start to learn market behavior, right? And just start to learn how price action works and stuff like that. That's great. That is definitely great. But as far as you, like, on a daily basis making money, it would probably be better to just trade a automated system, to be honest with you. Even trading an automated system can be a full-time job. Like, of course, for me it is, because I'm maintaining these systems. But yeah, I would suggest that you guys find you a system that you can, trade, and that system assists you in your trades. At least gives you some direction in which way to go. If you're going to trade discretionarily, do not use any indicators, please. That is one thing you will find. A pro trader, 9 times out of 10, listen to me, a pro trader does not use any indicators. I trade naked. Like, I don't trade anything on my charts. And you don't need that. The reason is because you don't need to. If you're going to be trading discretionarily, you should literally, all you need is, and I'll bring it up, trend lines, resistance, support, and maybe a Fibonacci extension or retracement tool every now and again if you want to. But you literally don't have to. You literally don't have to. You can just simply trade with trend lines, support and resistance, and that's it. Because what happens is you end up with all those different oscillators and stochastic and all that stuff, man. What it does is give you false signals. They end up giving you false signals, and you become reliant on those signals, and you end up trading as badly as anyone else, right? So you guys just keep that in mind. Again, if you guys want to give me a call, hit me up, 669-900-6833. And the code is 169-861-119. Let me bring up, I'm going to bring up something for you guys. I just got to find it. So just give me a second. If I can remember what this site is. Top CTA list. I'm still looking. Give me a second. I haven't looked at this site that I'm actually looking for in, man, a long time. Let me try typing this in. Come Yep, tell them Tech Geek, there is no magic indicator. I'm sorry, and then we'll go through. I'm gonna show you guys some stuff as well. Just give me 1 second. CTA performance. Maybe this is one. Okay, so this is one. This is not the one I'm talking that I was referring to. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. But this site, so this is what me and my partner back in 2006, we started a CTA firm, a commodity trading advisory firm, right? And back then we were just getting started, getting our feet wet, and you know, we would always kind of keep up with the top CTA firms and stuff. So there was a site that I used to use. I can't find it anymore. We actually used to pay for it, but they did give you like a sample. But you'll see like Campbell and Company. It gives you, and this is as of November 30th of 2019. Now these guys, they trade futures, so that can include FX as well. So when you're doing your series 3 and stuff, that umbrella is going to be commodities, it's going to be futures, and it's going to be FX. All that, like, all wrapped up in futures, commodities, and all that wrapped up in there. So these guys, the top guy, year to date, 15% return. Since inception, 10.5%. I'm assuming annualized return. And they started in 1988. Now, if I can find one, I'm gonna look. So look at this one here, December 2006. It's a newer one, right? Look at its inception, a little higher than this one. So normally the newer ones are gonna have higher performance since inception. That's what I was trying to show you guys, and now I have to find another list because it'll illustrate it even better. Here's one, even newer, March 2011, 11.10% since inception. So what happens is, what I'm trying to explain here is, if I start up a CTA firm tomorrow, right, and I got a dog system that trades whatever it is, let's just say my focus is FX, and that system I can do maybe 80% a year. Well, what happens is, the longer with that particular system, the longer I go with that system, the lower my average yield of return is going to be. It's just, this is what happens, people. And I'm saying all that I keep it real, because I'm just saying all that to say, the only way to be a successful trader is to not overtrade your accounts. You want to trade according to your account size. And maybe one day I'll do a video. We'll do a video and a live stream where I'll go through that and show you guys how to trade according to your principle. Whatever, if you got 10,000, if you got 100,000, 50,000, if you got $1,000, whatever it is. In FX, we're going to specifically talk about FX. In FX, I'll show you guys the lot size that you should be using. So let's check out. Let me see what you guys saying in the chat rooms real quick. So we got Cryptonomics says, let me see. Yo, Raw Power, what's going on, bro? My Russian brother. Cryptonomics says the indicators just indicate and most of them lag. He said, correction, they all lag. Well, They don't all lag. The problem is, bro, the problem with that is, even if they don't lag, they're not going to be right every time. So it doesn't matter if they lag or don't lag. If they're not right most of the time, then it doesn't matter if it's early. It can be early being late, if that makes sense. That's all it is. John Hill says, there isn't a magic indicator, but I disagree. Using indicators like the MACD and RSI can be extremely helpful. Nah. And you know why I know that? Because I can take, and maybe that'll be the algo that I create live for you guys to illustrate. I want to illustrate this very point, because I know what you're talking about. If I take, because remember, in trading you're supposed to have a trading system. That trading system doesn't have to be automatic, like programmed. It just needs to be a set of rules that you use to trade. To say, I'm going to go long here when XYZ happens. I'm going to close my position when XYZ happens. That's a trading system. So if you're trading discretion, like a discretionary trader, without any automatic systems or anything, you should be following your rules every time. And so when it comes to indicators, that's what I'll do. I'll create an algo for us, and I'll take whatever John Hill, whatever your MACD parameters are, or whatever, and you say, okay, I go long every time the MACD crosses here, XYZ, whatever. And I'll put that into code, right? Put it on Pine Script, put it on the chart, and run it backwards. And you'll see that system is not profitable. It's not going to be profitable, bro. It is not going to be profitable. Let me see. Let me get back to these comments here. Cryptonomics says, and to reply to John Hill, he said, helpful, yeah. I guess he's referring to like MACD and RSI. He said, but they can't tell you how to trade consistently. Exactly. Many people don't even calibrate their RSI. So exactly, man, it's about consistency. If it works for a week, does that matter? No, it needs to work for years. It needs to work for years, and it needs to work in perpetuity. It needs to work forever, for at least longer time frames for it to even matter. Because you don't trade for just a week, you trade for years. You're trying to make a career out of this, or make a consistent income based off that. Money Machine Gun said, you're right, I've been losing money. Stop loss just came down to take my money to just go right. Yep. Then I buy back at a higher price because of FOMO. Yeah, man. That's how they do. And it's not like, let me just say this. There's no like conspiracy theory. There's no like conspiracy to do this to you. What it is that these banks, and I'm talking about an FX, these banks can see order flow. Okay? They can see book flow. They can see where people's stop losses are. If they see you got millions of stop losses at this level, at some XYZ level, and we're near it, then of course they're gonna go up and press that up toward that area and take out everyone. So you just gotta keep that in mind. The call-in number, really quickly, John Hill, I saw you put that up, 669-90-6833, and the code is 169-861-119. Hit me up. So let me get back to this chat room. You guys are saying some really great things in here. Let's see here. John Hill said, I caught the bottom and tops of Bitcoin just off those two indicators on the daily. I used the standard version on TradingView. Okay, so that's something we can talk about. So the longer, that is true. So the further you go out on the time frame, you go daily, weekly, and you're using those things, of course, yes, they do work. They absolutely do work. Most people don't have the patience to wait for that long. And on the top of that, on those time frames, when you have those indicators on those time frames, there's a big window. So your stop loss has to be wide when you're talking about trading on the daily or weekly or even monthly. I don't trade those time frames. I don't want to risk that much money to just either win and wait. Time is money, right? So I don't want to wait 2 weeks for a trade and then it may not even pan out and turn the other way. What camera do you use for your videos? I use, let me see. This is a Canon EOS T Rebel T6i, I think. But this is an older camera now. I've had this camera for maybe 3 years. So I'm sure the newer ones are probably a little bit better. I would suggest getting probably the newer ones, but yeah, I use a T6i. Dang, these things are still expensive as hell. That's crazy. $900 for this camera. I didn't realize that it was still that expensive. Let me get back to this trade, this chat room really quickly and see what you guys are talking some real good stuff, man. Elliott Wave doesn't lag and is never wrong. Oh, okay, Ren. I know you gotta be definitely playing on us with that one. How you learn Pine? I've been waiting to peep that. I've been wanting to peep that. How you learn Pine? Pine script. I mean, I code, so it's fairly easy for me to pick up a new language. I just gotta learn the syntax. Once you learn the rules. Let me see if John Hill ever called in. He did. Oh, okay. I didn't hear it chime in, so sorry about that, John Hill. Let me get you plugged in here. John Hill, what's good?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. I don't know if you can pull up the Bitcoin chart, but I gotta show you my strategy. It's simple.
Yeah. I'll pull it up, and I'll put in your RSI stuff as well. Give me a second. Give me a second. So what I can do, so what Bitcoin chart do you use? What feed are you pulling from? What exchange?
What time frame?
No, what exchange?
Yeah, you can do BitMEX or Coin or Bitstamp. Either or, it won't matter much.
I'm on BitMEX, so I'll just use the perpetual inverse swap contract. That one. Is that cool? Okay, all right. So let me expand this. I'm gonna turn off all this algo stuff, so I don't have that in the way. And you said go to the
4 hour.
4 hour.
Yeah,
okay.
4 hour.
Okay. And
you
what indicator you use?
Mostly the MACD and the RSI.
MACD. And then you said RSI.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it's just going to be that one. Okay, what's your parameters?
Parameters, it's the basic. You can keep it, you don't have to change anything.
Damn, this Wait a minute.
I'm serious.
This guy
I gotta
uses
change
the
anything.
default parameters, people. Let's check this out.
Default.
Let's check.
I
I don't know
go
what the
default
default.
hour.
I don't know what the default is though. I mean, on
Oh,
the
the
MACD
default,
we got
man.
12,
I'm gonna look
we
it
got
up.
12, 26, and the close is 9. And RSI is at
I
14.
believe that. That's your default. That's your default.
Yeah, RSI 14 is default for sure. All right, so
Yeah, that's
all
definitely
right,
default.
so you want me to take a look at what time frame? What day?
4 hour.
Okay, what day? What day was that? Like December 17th?
I'm not looking at the. Yeah, I can't look at the live. So
Okay.
hold up. Look at from.
What month was the
14th.
bottom?
I'm not. I'm going to show you the top. I'm going to show you the recent dump.
The
January
recent
14th.
dump. Okay.
Yeah. To the 18th. So I don't know. Like I said, I can't see you live.
Okay, yeah, I
But-
got you. I got the top. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you look at the 14th, it's not just also use volume, so that's why I use like this stamp, because you don't get no volume on the BitMEX chart. But on the 14th, you can see you have the impulse was actually on the 13th, but the 14th you have the impulse, and then you have like some consolidation, and then makes another run up on the. What's up, the 19th?
Rand said, "God bless the default."
Yeah. Actually on the 18th.
Yeah, it's the 18th.
So you got that. Yeah, the 18th. And then you get your high on the 18th. I shorted right there. Right after that candle closed, that's where I shorted.
Okay,
And
but why?
if you look at your MACD from,
Okay, I'm looking.
from the 14th, you see how it goes. It's in the green, it goes red. And that's when it's consolidating. Then you get that one little green wick, the MACD.
Yeah,
after that candle close.
January 18th at 1900 hours.
And look at your RSI those 2 days.
Yeah.
You get the high.
It peaked up there.
And then you get the high. It's divergence. It's simple bearish divergence. That's my trading strategy.
No, that's not a bearish divergence. How's that bearish divergence?
Yes, it is. Bearish divergence is on the MACD is you have an island with positive histograms. You have the high with the positive histograms, and then you have another island with positive histograms. That's bearish divergence on the MACD. RSI, that's self-explanatory. You get a high, and then you get a higher high, but a lower amount of momentum. That is really that simple. Like, trading is not hard.
It's not hard. I don't. So what I mean by I'm still not fully following your trading strategy, because I want to replicate it and show you that it doesn't work over a period of time. It won't. You're gonna get more false positives than you're gonna get on the.
You'll get false
4 hour. Okay. Yeah.
You're on 4 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get false positives the lower time frames. That's why it's important.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important. I mean, the lowest I'll go. Well, if I'm scalping or something like that, I'll look at the 15-minute, 5-minute like that. But like, if I'm making like real like large trades, I'm looking at the higher time frames. Like the 4 hour will be the lowest I'll go.
Yeah.
And I might look at the 1 hour to look for a bear entry, but the 4 hours the lowest I'll go. And like I said, when I saw that on the 4 hour on I think it was a Saturday night, because I remember people were talking about the UFC fight, and I remember I got home late. I actually came home because I was like, I was looking at the charts or whatever on my phone, and I was like, there's a trade setting up. Like I could already tell, because I've been doing this for so long. I was like I could see it setting up. I was like, oh, this will be some, it's gonna be bearish divergence. Everybody was hyped, like, because it went past 9,000. So I'm looking at the sentiment, like, people, but I'm also looking at the volume. And if you look on like if it was on Bitstamp, you'll see the volume was like there was volume divergence. So you had higher volume at the 13th high or the 14th high, and then you have lower.
So that's funny. That's funny you said that because I'm gonna show you. I put this to my trading, my members on YouTube. Actually, it's funny you said that about a divergence because this is the divergence I know of, and it works because it worked for me. I put this out to the members, and I'm gonna show you really quickly what I'm talking about. This chart. I tweeted it. I actually tweeted it the other day too, like the day after, and it was a divergence.
I hit you up on it. Yeah, I hit you up, and I showed you. Yeah, I tweeted you, and I was like, "Yo," and because my tweet was actually old. It was before the divergence played out.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, I tweeted somebody. I follow a couple people that trade on Twitter. And they were saying something about like everybody's hype, and I was like, yeah, there's divergence on the 4 hour that's forming. And at that time, I was short, so
yeah. So
everybody
you're right.
was hype.
Like I said, I just saw this. I was just randomly looking at the charts, and I'm like, whoa, like it's continually going higher, as you guys can see on the screen. The price is heading higher, but the volume was heading in the opposite direction. That's
tapering off.
Yeah, it's tapering off.
Yeah.
So that's a divergence that typically means a reversal is coming. But even those don't work. They don't really. I can't quantitate that in most cases. I can't quantify. I'm sorry. I can't quantify that in most cases because what I mean by that is just because I have a bearish divergence doesn't tell me how long that divergence is gonna stay. You see what I'm saying? It's circumstantial. Like that's why I like using the higher time frames because that's when you start using your fibs. So if you get a run up, we had a run up for what, like 12, 13 days before then. So you had a run up from like 69 or 68.40 to like almost 9,200. Like that's a substantial run. Mm-hmm.
And you were over your RSI. That's why I also use it. Like your RSI was getting to overbought territories on like the 4 hour, and it was getting overbought on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
So the signal to me was like in this circumstance was more so a reversal for a drawback to like your fibs are like the 382, like 50% fib or the 618. And you said it was funny is you were explaining like that the support resistance, like a lot of this stuff correlates. So you were talking about the support resistance. You like the next support really was like that like 78.50 I believe, or 78.40.
70.
And that's like close. That's like close to those 618, which is at like 77.40 or around that area. So I could see it.
So in trading, that's called I think we call that convergence. When you have multiple trading signals, whether it's a cross of the moving averages at that particular point, and then you may have something like a Fibonacci level at that point, and then a trend support line at that point. When you have like 2 or 3 convergences, like at that particular area, you normally have some big moves.
Yeah. And then like the same thing for the bottom at like 68.40. And I remember because it was funny is like I really watch the sentiment of people like a lot. That's why I follow I don't follow a lot of people on Twitter, but like the certain people I follow and like certain like groups I'm in, like Telegram and stuff like that, I kind of like gauge what they're saying.
That's good. That's good.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Because
like,
to be honest with you, that's crazy you said that, John Hill, because I was like randomly thinking about that the other day when it came to equities.
Yes.
As bad as we know this market is just overbought, right? I'm talking about equities. I do not hear people talking about like the everyday person, like my barber isn't talking about, I'm in the stock market, man. Like I'm making money in this. When I hear like a barber, or not to like down them or anything like that, but people who normally don't even look into finance stuff like that, when you hear them talking about buying stocks, that's when the top is in. So we're probably very far from the top in equities. Like we may have a crash, but we're not. I don't think we're near top.
I mean, yeah, that's sentiment. Like when people, like everybody has the same idea, it's time to get out. Just like Bitcoin.
Just like Bitcoin. Yeah.
When Bitcoin was like 20, was hitting those levels, I remember I was like, well, it was crazy. Like the first time it hit like 5K, I was at like a store or something, and like somebody randomly in front of me was talking about Bitcoin, and you know, you've been in Bitcoin for like 2013
7 years, yeah.
Like you know how rare that is.
Yeah,
you know how rare that is. Like you don't talk about Bitcoin like other than online, basically.
Right.
So you know, it was the person was talking about, it, and they were like, "Yeah, you just buy it, and it's been going up so much." And I remember telling them, I was like, wait till it goes down to like 2,500 and then buy. And then whatever. I never saw that person ever again, whatever. And it went down to like 2,000. And then it pumped to, you know, it went crazy. This was right before the run up, whatever. And so I always stuck in my mind was like, you know, when people start talking about something, you know, run the other way, basically.
Yeah.
Basically with it, but
I agree, man.
I'm telling you, simple MACD and RSI divergence. Like I know a lot of people like down it, but I used to down it too. But I really like. I'm telling you, especially on like the day chart or the 4 hour.
When you said 4 hour or day chart, then when you said day chart, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Anything on the day is gonna work pretty much. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it takes so much price movement to make it happen. It's gonna be very hard for the market to reverse that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
I mean, you'll get those extreme oversold, and then you know it'll have one more little mini run, and then I'll create that divergence, either you know for a bottom or a top. And you'll just see the sentiment. Like everybody was saying at 68.40, like everybody in my groups and stuff, oh, we're going to 5K. And I'm like, I was buying. And I know you, what's funny is, I think you said that don't go 100X. Like, I'll be going, like, I went 100X at around those levels.
How, yeah, bro? Not on a one, you can't go 100X on a 4 hour or a day chart.
No, I'm telling people though, and people think I'm crazy, and then I'll show you a screenshot, and they be like, how you doing? I'm just like, yo, this is it. I tell people all the time, this is all I do. This is all I look for. Like all this other stuff is just noise.
The reason you can't go 100X on a day chart is because when you leverage 100X, your margin call level is like literally like 0.2%.
Yeah, it is true if you hold it for a while.
Yeah,
I got that. But you hold it, I might hold it for, you know, depending on like this last run, you hold it for a few days and then, you know, you take your profit or whatever. But that's, to me, you know, that's the most profitable for me. Like everybody is different, everybody has their levels.
Yeah, the only way I can see someone going 100X is if they're scalping. If you're scalping, you can 100X because you're literally in the position. The deviation in price is going to be less than 0.1%. You know what I'm saying? Like if I were to trade on the 4 hour or day charts, I would have to trade like 10X. No more than 10X, because I need the room. I need that room. That's the problem and why I don't trade on 4 hour. 4 hours okay, but definitely not the day chart, because the margin for error, it has to be a wider window, because when you get those buy or sell signals on those time frames, it's going to take time for it to propagate down to the traders who are at the 4 hour, 1 hour, half an hour, 30. You get what I'm saying? Like, it has to all come down. The information comes down or goes up. It depends on which way you want to look at it. It actually goes up.
But that's the thing is like I said, I look at when it comes to those areas and when I get on the day chart and stuff like that, because there'll be, especially with Bitcoin, be a wild swing of like, it might go down, $500, and then, you have all those buy orders. But that's when you got to go to the lower time frame. I'm not saying like I just look at the day chart. No, I'll look at multiple time frames, but I'll see it on the day chart like, yo, this is going to be a buying opportunity, or this is a shorting opportunity.
Got you.
So
no, at the end of the day, you're right, man. Trading is simple, but that's what I mean. Like what people like to do, and people starting off trading, their mistake is they think there's some magic pill, there's some magic indicator out there, especially on the lower time frames. No, you're gonna get wrecked, people. Don't trading is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is not something that you learn overnight. This is damn sure not something you make a living off of overnight. It's going to take years. And
you treat it like a hobby.
Yeah.
And just stick at it. Like the more you stick at it, the more you're gonna understand what's going on. You get more a feel for it because, you can't. I understand what you're saying, but you just use the indicators as guides for because I'm more of a swing trader more than anything. So I'm looking for when that trend can potentially reverse. And usually, it's funny because it happens every time. Like, you get to run, and people are like, "Oh, we're going to back in June," and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we're going to 20K again." And that's when I was like, "Yo, this joint's gonna turn soon." But even though, you couldn't catch the top on that run. Catching the top on that was extremely difficult because you had to go to lower time frames, and then there was a lot of there's a lot of fake outs on those times. But
yeah, so what do you think right now, sentiment wise, with what's your thoughts with crypto sentiment wise? Where do you think we are?
I just think if we make a higher low, like you were saying, like the 78.50 range, as long as we stay in that range and we hold there, I think we can make a run to 9,500, and we'll see what happens when we get there. There might be some divergence on the daily, or a higher time frame if that happens. But I think we're gonna test 9,500 before a real move, a real big downswing comes. I think everybody's still bearish, and a lot of people are still in disbelief. And I think I use this. There's a gauge, just like a fear gauge for Bitcoin, just like you have the stock gauge, whatever.
Yeah, they have
the fear and greed. I think that's pretty much neutral right now. It's not fearful right now.
Okay.
I think so.
I've never used it. I've never used it simply because I didn't know where to go look at it. I always saw it in articles. I would always see them screenshot it, but I never knew where to go look for it.
It's on alternative.me.
Alternative?
Yeah, and the gauge is alternative.me. That's where I'm getting it from. And it's at 49 right now. So it's still neutral. So people are still it could go either way, but I'm leaning more bullish.
Alternative.me is what was this it's an app?
That's let me try to send a link in the
Okay, yeah, drop it in there if you can.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat.
Yeah, I think I have to disagree with you. I think we're going lower because I think people think we are going higher. I don't know.
From what I've been seeing, that's what I've been seeing. It's like I think everybody is more bearish. People are saying like they're quitting. I've seen multiple posts. People are like, I sold all my Bitcoin and that's it. Like
I saw someone say that too. Yeah.
Like, and I guess they bought at the top, and they thought it was going to, go to 9,500. But I don't just use those indicators. I also like try to find like patterns and trends, and I kind of use harmonics a little bit. So, I try to broaden my, perception of, or try to prove myself of the direction in multiple ways, not just based off of the indicators. If you just use the indicators itself, if you just use it like indicators itself, sometimes that's where I think you get that magic bullet. This indicator is going to tell me the direction and everything, and you got to find a pattern, because you might be like at the bottom of when everybody was saying with Bitcoin with the 3,100, and you were calling the bottom there. Like,
yeah,
I give you credit for that.
Yeah.
And I was saying there too, but I didn't think we were gonna go, crazy like we did.
But the thing is though, John Hill, I was calling bottom at 3,100 was a bottom simply off of price action from previous years. When we went from 3,000, 3,100 Bitcoin, we dropped down off of the China ban scare. Remember that? We dropped from 5,000 down to 3,100, and when we hit 3,100, we went from 3,100 all the way to basically you could just say 20,000. It was like a rocket. So I'm like, well, that the market is like an elephant. It doesn't forget. And so when you get to those levels, people get like jittery and like they're like, nah, I think it's going to get higher.
And if you look at the chart, like if you go like the daily chart, and you look at that time frame, you'll see, I believe it's from the low from November to the low in December, on December 15th, whatever. You'll see that bullish divergence there. You get the low, and then you get a lower low, but you get higher positive the momentum in MACD and higher RSI. And then, it consolidated in like an ascending triangle for like 2 months. But that was your low.
Yes.
And everybody then.
Cryptonomics is talking about palladium. Man, palladium is going crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Have you been watching palladium?
I saw that chart the other day. It's up like
65% in a year.
Yeah. It's going parabolic.
It's what the gold people and silver bugs wish for.
I think they use it in those electric cars.
Is that what it's about?
For that. Maybe that's the reason. Because that joint's going crazy.
I don't think the gold bugs will ever get that opportunity. I don't think they'll witness that type of move in gold and silver, simply because the supply of gold is actually more than what people want to put on. And then secondly, what are we really using gold for nowadays? We use it in electronics, but I think we're moving away from that even.
I mean, it's still in jewelry. You still use for jewelry and stuff like that, but it's not to the levels where people are like, it's not palladium right now.
It's not palladium, right? Like, I don't think we'll see a industrial demand for gold like that again. Maybe we will. I mean, I can't predict the future, but I don't see it. I don't see that happening. And I think gold will go up, but it will perform modestly in comparison to crypto if we have a financial fallout.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought gold back in 2008 and 9 at the bottom, I mean, you might not be worried about it, but I mean, that was over a decade ago. I did buy that bottom, and I sold around. I bought both gold and silver around there, and I sold the silver around 40, and I sold the gold around the top. And I actually bought more gold this whole like I think around like 1100.
So
and I've been selling it off like.
MB in the chat room asked, why is BSV not real Bitcoin? Because it follows original protocol with no I think he meant SegWit and no forks. What are your thoughts on that, on BSV?
It's not real Bitcoin because it's not the first, and B, it's it's perception. It's the market perception. Like, people don't think it's the real, the genuine Bitcoin.
Yeah.
People don't like Craig Wright. That's point blank. Like, ain't nothing really else. Like, everything is perception.
It is.
So
it's all perception. It's all perception, and unfortunately, BSV will never get the limelight, even if it were. Let's just say it followed the white paper to the T, because you got Bitcoin Cash saying the same thing. So,
yeah,
but BSV,
it has nothing to, like.
Go ahead.
Like, people use these cryptos like a religion, man. Like,
I swear it's a religion. It reminds me of religion, to the T. Listen, 2 years ago, this is a crazy thing. 2 years ago, I went to a Bitcoin birth party, like birthday, right? And it was eerily, it seemed so much like Bitcoin was Jesus. Like, you could just swap out the name Bitcoin with Jesus. I was standing there like, whoa, bro. And they were talking about the white paper. You could swap out white paper with Bible. I'm like, this is weird, bro. This is too weird for me, bro. Like, I love Bitcoin. Been in it for a long time. It's changed my life. But the level of infatuation that these people have for Bitcoin is a little weird, bro.
Yeah, and I think that's what's like killing the whole industry. It's like,
right,
like everybody
can't be taken seriously, man.
Yeah, people. I understand, like, people try to make money in the industry and stuff like that, but it's like, you got the Bitcoin maximalist people, and they just everything's a shitcoin. It's like, no, like, you don't know when, like, what coin or what project is going to overtake, who. Like, there's nothing set in stone that Bitcoin is going to be the top coin. Like,
there
who
is
knows?
nothing,
Like,
bro.
things change.
No. There
things
is
change.
nothing.
Like, I know you've been proponent of EOS and stuff like that, and like, who knows? Maybe EOS is maybe their plan works out for the long run more than Bitcoin. Like,
we don't know, but
we don't know.
We can scale Bitcoin on EOS, right?
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah,
I do know that. They ain't gonna do that though.
Oh no, hell no, they ain't gonna do.
Not gonna do that. And yeah, you can't. I mean, and that's the issue. Like, the goals aren't to improve the technology.
No,
the goals are,
it's just a gang. It should be gang, dog. That's all it is.
Because whoever gets that perception of
9 billion
the gold standard,
240
that's who's going to
control,
a whole different economy. So it's about power, and I just think people that are foolishly like this, like with the whole worshiping of these coins and this coin and XRP and like, you just getting wrapped up in stuff that.
You know what? Honestly, bro. You know how big of a proponent I am of EOS. Like, I really think that's like top dog, right? I don't even talk about EOS that much on my channel because I'm not trying to. I'm not gonna be that person. Like, I'll mention it here and there. You do your own research because I don't even like EOS could. I don't know what the future is. You know what I'm saying? EOS could not. It could be something else. It's a high probability that it's not EOS. Put it to you that way. If you look in 10 years from now, it is a high probability that it's not Bitcoin, it's not EOS, it's not Litecoin, it's not none of the coins that you think. Because if we knew which coin it was, we will see these prices go parabolic on that particular coin. It's just going to take time for I think the industry to mature, and we'll probably be surprised.
Yeah, I know we're gonna be surprised. It's probably gonna be something, maybe that coin's not even existing.
It may not be. That's
like
why I was
you
trying to
have no
jump
idea.
on Hedra hash graph, because I'm trying to look for
Yeah.
those new fringe technologies that are different than blockchain. There's like a whole new, but they get caught up. Hedra got caught up in trying to make sure the price of the coin stayed at a
Trying to make money.
price. Trying to make money, man.
They're trying to make money, man. It's a money grab. It's a money grab. It's not about, you always talking about, Bitcoin and
9 billion
PR problems.
240
But like I said
million
before,
dollars.
like these companies aren't, and these people, they're not trying to get adoption. They're trying to get that money. So they go into the people that got money. So that's a whole different, business dynamic. That's like going public. That's why there's all this SEC stuff that's coming down, because that's how people are running it. That's why they run on ICOs.
Oh man, we didn't speak of SEC. We didn't get a chance to talk about the Reggie thing. I don't think.
Yo, I told you he should have ran, man. He should have ran. Just run Reggie. I don't know what nah, man.
He would have been shot in the back, bro. He would have been shot in the back.
That's a shame, man. But I never got involved in Very. Like I heard of it later on. I heard of like when Cliff came out with that report, and I think I heard of Very the first time I heard of Cliff. And I think that was off of the Snippy dude. Off of his John. That's when I got tapped into him.
Yeah.
Because and I just never got into any ICO, honestly. And like I got into Litecoin a little bit early and stuff like that, but like the new wave, I didn't get into any of those. I don't know, I regret it at the time, but hindsight is like, I'm glad I didn't buy nothing and hold it. Be sitting there. I mean,
Rand makes a good point. He said big money is gone except for Bitcoin, maybe. Like all the big money is gone. It's just whales in Bitcoin, and and those whales may buy other assets like other altcoins and stuff like that. What do you think about that? I could probably agree with that at this point. Just looking at the price action and the volume and stuff, it kind of looks like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the rules have changed. People are gonna take advantage when the rules are set. Like everything's in limbo right now. Like people, if you come out with trying to come up with some type of project, and you try to raise money on it, are you gonna get you're gonna get that letter? Like you're not gonna put no money into something that potentially can hurt you in the short term. In those situations, because all those ICOs that made that money in 2017, they're at risk. For if they didn't get that letter already, they're still at risk. So I mean, it's somewhat true, but I just think people are just waiting. I just think people are waiting, and I think there will be a run, but it'll be like a few coins, like it'll be a few projects, but that might be a couple years out.
Yeah, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Other than that, like I've been looking at the market too, like the stock market. There's some divergence on there, but
we can't listen. We can't. You can't use it. You can't use any. Look, bro, you can't use any indicators on the stock market. That's a whole nother beast. Because I mean, the Fed just gonna buy it up. They're gonna just give cheap money to. Dog, they're now talking about, literally, I did a video about this. They're now thinking about extending repo operations to hedge funds.
That's crazy.
It's over. It's over.
Crazy,
it's gonna
man.
go up forever, bro. Like, seriously.
That don't even make no sense, man. It's like
It makes
about
no
to start
sense.
hedge fund or something, man.
No sense.
Like,
It makes no sense.
like this is like, and it's bad. I'm like I said, I'm hoping maybe that I'm not hoping, but maybe that virus thing scare will start, taking the prices back a little bit.
Yeah,
so
that,
it gets under control.
Okay, so you bring up a point, and that's what I said in the video, my 2 cents video the other day. I said, as far as a Black Swan event, it's going to be an event that the bankers can't, like the Federal Reserve can't control, and the whole point of the Federal Reserve is to manage sentiment and manage perception. But if people's perception is based on nothing financial, right? If we have a pandemic and people are panicking, they're going to liquidate regardless. Doesn't matter if the Fed is there to hold their hand. They're panicking. Yeah. They're going to liquidate, and so that will be a scenario. I hope not. I hope that this doesn't turn into some type of pandemic, but that would be a scenario where,
It's moving though. It's like, because with the news and stuff like this, you're always getting the old report, and there, when I first heard of it, and it was like 100 people, I was like, oh, it's over, because the way the world works, they just take that one plane ride, and then it was like the next day they had a dude in Washington, and then now they're suspecting the student in Texas. Like,
yeah, it's Texas student may have Wuhan corona beer virus, as dozens in the U.S. are monitored. You're so right, man. We live in a world now where there is no we're connected. A plane flight away. Definitely, you're correct. So and that's the only reason I take this seriously is because of that very thing. The numbers are low. 14 people, that's nothing in comparison to billions. I know, but that can grow exponentially.
Yeah, because you do that one plane ride, like that's everybody in that airport. That's everybody on that airplane. That's he's been sick for a few days probably. Like everybody got in contact with, and even a student. Like that was a key. Like they said, that's a key word. Like he's a student. So school was just starting back up for colleges and stuff like that. Like you don't know who he got around and who they got around. Like I think gonna be an issue in the next couple of weeks. But I mean,
so with that being the case, do you think the stock market is going to react to that negatively?
I think yeah, I think it will at some point. I'm not saying it's like tomorrow, but at some point it's going to start factoring in. It's like at the reports you start getting like the thousands of people, like hundreds of deaths and stuff like that. Yeah, people are going to get real shook to go out. Like I already see it now for like other people like online are already talking about it. Like they're getting a little scared, and man, fear travels fast, man.
Fear travels way faster than greed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, so this could be a black swan event for the stock market in twofold. You have a panic by individuals that hedge funds, so on and so forth, that are actively managing accounts and stuff. But you'll also have a panic by the consumer. If the consumer stops buying, that's going to contract GDP.
Yeah. The whole Chinese New Year, that whole plan, they already scrapped that. They didn't scrap it, but like travel and stuff like that, they already refunding people that bought plane tickets and stuff like that. So
Cryptonomics said stock market is on roids. Ain't no sniffles gonna stop that shit. Bro. Oh man.
I don't know, man.
$9 billion.
It's all about the money, baby.
$240
about the money.
$million.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
That's pretty much all I have, man.
This virus may force that hand, bro. I'm sorry. That's the only That's the kryptonite. That's the only thing I think that could stop this stock market is a pandemic.
Yeah, because they won't keep printing that money. They won't keep getting that money to that repo market, and that ain't stopping anytime soon. So it might have to be something like life or death that's gonna, like with the with the war and stuff like that. That spooked the markets for like 5 hours. But man, I don't know. We'll see though.
Yeah,
I'm about
we'll
to
see.
head out.
Yeah, thanks for the call in, and we'll talk to you soon, John Hill.
All right, man.
Yep.
All right.
All right, people. If I don't have any more calls, we're gonna wrap up here in a second. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to your boy Crypto Bloods channel. Make sure you click that bell. Make sure you do everything I tell you to do. No, I'm just playing. But let's look at these FX markets one more time before we wrap up for tonight. So again, this red area, this red dot is where I entered my short on euro pound. If I toggle over to the next trade, pound Aussie, I am short but underwater right now about 30 pips or so. Not too bad. I got another, it looks like max loss in this trade would be a total of 60 pips. So I'm hoping that we get some more downside in this trade so that my line in my algo will come down with it. So if I can get this trade, I think we got a caller, I'll take you in a second, but if I can get this trade to come down further, then my line you can't see it right now because it's hidden behind my stop loss, that will come down as well, and then I'll kind of lock in or protect me from as much loss in that particular trade. So we'll have to see what happens there. Let's go ahead and take this caller. We got my man 10 Pound in the building. 10 Pound, what's going on, brother?
I'm just over here kicking and chilling, lounging back, doing a little bit of trading myself,
What you trading, man?
Actually, I'm not for sure if you're aware of this market, but it's called Old School RuneScape. They got a zone in the game called the Grand Exchange. It looks exactly like a massive trading desk, and all the objects that exist in the game can get circulated and traded. And I kid you not, bro, people are using this in Venezuela as a hedge against their government's currency. And it's kind of like a Forex market, a global Forex market, bro.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. What is it called?
It's called Old School RuneScape. They got an app on your phone that you can use. And
But they don't have a site? Old School?
Yeah, they've got a site. It's an application. My generation grew up. I'm obviously
I've heard of RuneScape, but I've never played it. But is it RuneScape or is it just
it's
something
RuneScape.
else?
It's literally a trading desk inside of RuneScape where all the objects have in-game currency value. And then people also do real-world trading because of how Jagex set up the market. So 5 million in the game is valued at about, let's say, $10. You know what I mean? Yeah, and people actually make a living off of this, dude. There are people on Discord that sell RuneScape GP and make $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month upwards. So
where do you exchange it?
Various websites, tons of forums, and sometimes peer-to-peer through Discord. So,
but then you have to kind of trust those people, right?
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people actually trade into it and out of it through cryptocurrency to eliminate that barrier of trust from time to time, So
let me give you a story, old school story with the crypto. You'd be surprised, man. I don't know if you remember Real Life or Second Life. I'm sorry, Second Life. Remember Second Life?
Yeah, I do.
So Second Life, actually, Bitcoin had that was one of the first exchanges as well, right after Mt. Gox. People were literally trading their Linden bucks to get in and out of Second Life. There was an actual market for Linden to Bitcoin. It still may be, but I remember when I got into crypto, that was very popular back then, man. And I don't know how well Second Life is doing nowadays, but that reminded me when you said that. That reminded me of people, playing Second Life and making money off of this. People were making a living off Second Life back in the day. I don't know. Anybody in the chat room, let me know if you guys still play Second Life. Maybe I need to get back in Second Life.
Second Life is going blockchain, bro. So yeah, you're right. People definitely making money off of Second Life.
Second Life is blockchain now?
Yeah, Second Life is going blockchain right now. Yeah, they're merging towards it. The developers have already announced the plans to integrate.
What? Get out of here.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing, bro. These MMORPGs are actually becoming a hedge for stable value internationally.
Wow.
And, it's a completely different type of Forex market. It is what it is, man. It's like people using the applications to build in-game value, to transact in between each other. Regardless of what governments are doing, it's ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Dang, man. My man Cryptonautics said 10 pound be on some obscure fifth dimensional trading. Man, you ain't lying, man. 10 pound, man. This guy be off in the corner somewhere trading palladium, plutonium. Yeah. You'll never know what this guy's trading right here, bro. God dang.
Man,
I'm gonna need to go check out.
You know about my metals too, so is what it is.
Do you trade Forex?
Actually, I have in the past. I don't do it habitually, not anymore, at least.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's consistent though. It's a great way to make some money on the books, But I like to keep my stuff kind of digital.
I feel you. What's understood don't need to be explained. You ain't even gotta say nothing, my brother.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta say nothing. Yeah, man. Oh, man, I may have to get on Second Life, bro. Y'all might see Crypto Blood on Second Life in a minute.
Hey, dude, do what it is that you gotta do, man, just to get a nice little arbitrage in, and get the margins. So
yeah, so people check out, and I'll drop a link. I think people were asking for a link, so let me just drop this link in here for old school RuneScape. You guys check that out. I'm not into that type of massive online games. I like the ones that are more 3D.
Man, it is. Old school RuneScape is 3D, man. Plus, they got like engineering in that game. They got characters that are walking around with cannons and stuff. But it's a fantasy game though. I'm not gonna deny it. For the most part, it's just a means to an end, man.
I think I'm gonna get on Second Life, bro. I haven't been on Second Life in literally in a lifetime. No pun intended. Nah, more like, shoot, man. God, I want to say like 6 years.
Man, yeah, it's been a while for me too. There's just so many different alternatives, man.
I wonder how like the gameplay. I like literally. I'm just gonna do some YouTube and tonight and see what people are doing like on Second Life nowadays. Like it wasn't as much to do. I mean, it was a lot to do, but the graphic quality was decent. It wasn't all that back then. So let me see businesses. Let me see here. Start a virtual business and earn real profits.
Yeah, you're right.
Nigga, this is crazy, dog.
This is right, completely crazy. The Linden dollar is going up. I mean, here's the thing, bro. They're actually gonna be porting over to the Oculus Rift and the Oculus Quest, man. So they're trying to take it VR.
Real life is?
Second Life, yeah.
I mean, Second Life, which is gonna become real life. Hey, if you make a living off Second Life, it's real life to me. If I'm making a couple grand a month, it's real life to me. This is crazy, bro.
It is. Yo, but what about Decentraland, man? I know that they're about to go live, public, like officially live next month. And a lot of the Decentraland plots are selling for fucking hotcakes, man. Mana is 2 cents each. Just now, if you want to name your character, it's going to cost $20, bro. Like, crazy right now.
But Decentraland, how are the graphics on Decentraland? I'm like I said, I'm more focused on graphics, bro. I need them graphics to be.
Yeah, I get it. You want that like high HD fidelity 4K type of junk.
You already know.
Yeah, so Decentraland's a little cartoony. It's kind of like a bit of World of Warcraft, but it is what it is, man. It's just a blockchain-based platform. Like, yeah. Hopefully, they'll get higher resolution objects, but you can actually go in there, play around, and hop in the world and see what it looks like for yourself, man. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like, you're looking at a photorealism based application, unlike Mark.space. Mark.space is photorealism, bro. Blockchain based rooms, assets.
I did some sponsorships with Mark.space back in the day. Are they still around? I was wondering about them.
They're still in development. They're still kicking. Yep. They actually
out of Russia, right?
Yeah, out of Russia.
I did some videos on them.
They actually dropped, Lithuania, they dropped the Russian asset firm that actually wanted to procure their technology while the Lithuanian firm was financing them. Literally, the Russians were going to take the money and the tech and run out the back door with it. But the boys at Mark.space caught them, and they had to cut ties. Along with cutting ties with the Russians, there was a Japanese-based investor that had to leave as well. So, yeah.
That's why I haven't heard from Oleg over there.
Yeah.
In Russia, and they tried to dip on them, huh?
Yeah, Oleg was trying to fucking get the upper leg on the niggas.
Duh, are you serious, bro? Oh my god, man.
Yep.
$9
He
billion.
was trying to take all the money.
$240 million.
That's the way it is.
That's crazy, man. I think I'm gonna look into Second Life though, people, just to let you guys know. You first to hear it on the live stream. Your boy CB is gonna be on Second Life.
So it was great chatting with you, brother.
All right, bro. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, anytime. Take it easy.
All right. Yep. All right, people. Well, thanks for the callers. That actually learned something tonight from my man 10 Pound on that whole old school RuneScape, and made me think about Second Life again. So your brother gonna go check out Second Life tonight or tomorrow or something. I'm gonna go online and see what people talking about as far as the community. It's been forever. John Hill says it's been since 2014 for him. Yeah, it's been about that long for me too, man. I think I found out about Second Life in 2012-ish. So it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. All right, people. I think we covered the rest of those trades. Let me see here. So if I go back over here, so yeah, pound US dollar, I am still short, ladies and gents, on that trade. Overall, the month and a half performance is really good with the pound dollar. Currently it's at 3.2 or 3.32 profit factor, 39 trades in the last month and a half or so that I have in this window. I've been trading it longer than that, but in this live real-time view, that's where we are with things. And don't get it twisted, my stop losses, first of all, my stop losses normally never get hit, because normally, and it depends on which trading at which algo I have this plotted on, which pair, but typically, like in the case with the pound dollar, my pivot point to go the opposite way in the trade is normally well in well above or well below the stop loss. If I'm going long, you'll see that my stop loss is well below my pivot point to go short. So I typically don't even, in this case, with this pair, I have a stop loss of 0.32% on the long trades and 0.48% on the short trades. But again, I normally don't even hit my stop losses that much. So that's why I'm able to have a decent, or not decent, a very good profitability with this pound dollar trade. If I go over to pound yen, still in the red with this trade. But as you can see there, my pivot point to go long is slightly below my stop loss on this one. We'll have to see. The algos got me pretty much, with the exception of this euro pound trade. My algos are all short the pound. I'm essentially long the pound in this euro pound trade because I'm short euro versus the British pound. But in all my other pound trades, I am short right now for whatever reason. Still in my euro yen trade. Still long in my euro yen. And we just looked at pound dollar, pound yen, still short, euro pound short, and pound Aussie short. So we'll have to see what happens here in the next couple hours. I'll probably be up because I'm going to be trading the 315. We got euro coming out. Go back here so you guys can see that. Eurozone 3:15 a.m. We've got some pretty good economic news coming out, but most importantly, 4:30. It's gonna be fireworks, people. 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got a lot of news coming out, so I should be able to make some good money by then to close out this week on a good note. And before we leave, let me just calibrate and show you guys where I am this week in my profits. Let me see here. So I'm gonna go, what's today? Go to the 19th. Okay. 19, 2020. Go to the next one really quickly. Just give me 1 second as I calibrate this. 19, 20. Calibrate this one. 119. And pound yen, do that one next. 19 to 20. And this is a euro pound. 19 to 20. Barely made money on that pair this week so far. So it looks like I'm about, let me see, so 100, 430, 440, 555, or is that 515? Down on that one, 850. So I'm a little down right now as we stand. So that's what I'm hoping tomorrow or over the night, the course of this night and going into Friday, we can catch up and break even or make some money really by the end of this week. So we'll see what happens. But definitely got 2 more days. Normally Wednesday is the most active day. in Forex, but this Wednesday was not all that active at all. I don't know why. Really wasn't a lot of price action like I needed it to be this week. So we'll have to see what happens, guys. Thank you for joining, though, ladies and gents. I appreciate it. Money